Well, hello! So this Friday, October 11th, is National Coming Out Day, and I thought I'd use this timely opportunity to share with you my personal coming out story. I was born and grew up in a small town in western North Dakota, and kindergarten through my senior year of high school, I attended a Catholic school. And to be honest, I didn't know anyone during that entire time who was gay. I don't actually know what would have happened had I come out at that time. I don't think that I would have been disowned, and I think I would have kept all the friends that I had. But I was still trying to figure out so much about myself that I don't know that I would have actually been able to handle any sort of major negative reaction to my coming out. My first year of college, I went to a university in my hometown, and I actually ended up developing feelings for a straight male friend that I had made, and I eventually did tell him about it. While he was understanding, he was obviously a little bit uncomfortable, but he was technically the first person that I had come out to in my entire life. The next year, I transferred to a university in Minnesota. Around my third year at that university, I actually ended up developing very strong feelings for one of my best male friends who was also heterosexual. This is a reoccurring theme in my life that probably warrants its own video, let alone psychological analysis and therapy. The feelings were actually so strong that I felt like I physically couldn't contain them, so I did eventually tell him, and while he obviously didn't feel the same way about me, I learned in that moment that he did care a lot about me as a friend and was more supportive than I ever could have imagined. He would actually point out situations in which there were opportunities for me to come out to some of my close friends and actually help me through the process of coming out to a few of them. Eventually, this process of coming out slowly to one person at a time became very daunting. So I set the first day of classes of my fourth year at that college as the deadline that I would be out to all of my friends. A couple days leading up to it, I just sat in my bedroom with a bottle of wine and my cell phone and called all the people who were close to me that didn't live in Minnesota and came out to them one at a time, and actually came out to my brother during that time as well. Finally, on the date of the deadline, I sent out a mass Facebook message to all of my friends that I hadn't told yet. The subject of the message was, "You just won $1,000! But then the body of the message actually said, "Just kidding, actually, I'm gay!" After receiving that message, everyone was incredibly supportive. My favorite response to that message came from my friend Alicia, who later became one of my best friends. Her message read, "I really wish I had won $1,000 because I probably would have been more surprised." All of this just made me realize that I probably could have come out a lot sooner than I did. Most people had actually suspected at this point, and my life didn't actually change all that much, which is, I think, one of my biggest fears at the time. I was just finally able to be open about who I was and how I felt, and I was finally able to share my love of Zac Efron with the world. I didn't actually come out to my parents until around 3.5 years later when I was 25. I had felt like I'd finally put it off long enough, so one weekend when I was home for Easter, I just sat them down in the living room and told them. They were both incredibly supportive. My mom actually said that she had suspected that I was gay. My dad, though, was actually shocked, and I could tell he didn't really know how to react. I suspect that it has been a little bit of an adjustment for both of them, not because they think I'm going to hell or love me any less or anything like that, but they were born and grew up in my hometown as well, and while my hometown isn't necessarily a judgmental place or a small-minded place, it does still sort of perpetuate the idea that the ideal American life consists of a Christian middle-class family with a mom and a dad and 2.5 children living in a house with a white picket fence. Now, I know that I'm very lucky that I have been surrounded by friends and family who love me and care about me and support me for who I am. I was also incredibly lucky to have gone through this journey during a time when the internet existed. Back when I was still trying to figure out who I was and was afraid of how people would react, I was able to anonymously turn to the internet and interact with other people who had gone through and were currently going through some of the same things that I was. Now, if you are currently in the closet, don't feel like you need a holiday like National Coming Out Day to proclaim your sexual orientation to the entire world at once. If you can take anything from my story, know that it's okay to start small, to start with one person at a time. That way you can slowly build up an army that will support you in case you do get any sort of negative reaction. If you're not sure you have anyone to talk to at this moment, below are a number of links to a number of different resources that may help you begin your journey. Now, while this may sound a little cliche at this point, I do assure you that life does indeed get better. Don't stress if you are still trying to figure out who you are or how to be comfortable in your own skin. There is a place for you in this world just as you are. The people who love you already know this, and I promise that one day you will know it too. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. If you click the video link in the upper left-hand corner, it will take you to the video that I had made for the collaboration channel, Today I'm Going to Live. This is a channel in association with the Trevor Project. After you watch my video, please check out the other videos on that channel. It is full of wonderful people from all over the world who are sharing absolutely wonderful things about themselves. So do it! Click it! And to be honest, I didn't actually know anyone who wasn't gay, let alone who wasn't gay. Everyone was gay. It was gay town.